So the biggest concern we had a lot of squawking, a lot of fall off in the beginning, and we worked on different hose lengths, different positions, chain lengths, new settings, and we just were not happy. And then all of a sudden DeLaval came to us and said, but we have something coming.
When we put the Evanza in, by milking number 2, when that mouthpiece on the claw had softened just enough and the operators had got used to that claw, it went from a parlor where squawking was just a normalcy of hearing and how to fix it was just everybody's guess. And you put that Evanza in and it was like a silver bullet of silence. You don't have any claw drop-offs, you don't hear that squawk, and you actually check vacuums and you don't see any squawk or slip on that. So it's an auditory, a visual, and a measurable difference with that Evanza compared to our old claws.
You can follow it on Dairy Comp. You can see exactly when those claws went in. They went in, it was silent in the parlor, there was less milk on the floor, and when you looked at the graphics, you said, oh, that's the day you did that.
We struggled with the weight of our old claw. They were heavy, they weren't ideal for this application. They worked great in our Parallel 12, where we had more time to really use alignment devices and maybe support the weight of that claw a little better. But we wanted to go to a set it and forget it claw, where it aligned itself, and coupling that with a 5/8 milk hose really let that claw just fall into place underneath that cow. And because of its lightweight, it's a lot less fatigue on the operators when they're trying to put a unit on every 8 seconds, and it just lets them set it and forget it. It just lines itself up, and we saw our milk outs go through the roof when we put that claw in compared to the older claw.
And then flow-responsive milking was turned on. That was big. That was probably before the claws, and that was a really big thing to have that come into play.
So I guess to me, flow-responsive milking is, let's measure what's coming out of that cow, how fast it's coming out, and then let's let that cow tell us what she needs for vacuum to get milked out efficiently, safely, and healthily.
And if you cannot use that vacuum on that teat end, and you take it from 6-7 minutes down to 4.5 or whatever, it's just got to be healthy for tissue no matter what. Less opportunity to introduce bacteria up into that. They're just a multiple of healthy things. And all of a sudden the cows come in here, and within 1 month you can start to see all the hyperkeratosis disappear. Like, amazing. And then all of a sudden you add that piece with the full responsive milking, and you're like, this is cool. This is really amazing.